All right, so welcome to another deep dive. Today we are going back to basics.
Back to basics.
Yeah, and I'm really excited about this one. I think this is going to be super valuable for our listeners.
I see so too.
Um, we talk a lot about like high-level stuff, complex ideas, but sometimes it's good to just kind of like look at the foundation and make sure that's really, really strong.
Yeah, the nuts and bolts, the essential building blocks.
Exactly. And the material you shared with me today is kind of perfect for that.
Yeah.
It's described as paste and text, but it's basically like a collection of 50 common English words and phrases.
Okay.
And they're broken down into these categories that are really relevant to like everyday life, greetings and conversations, daily routines, activities, objects, feelings, actions, the kind of stuff that you encounter.
Right, the bread and butter.
Yeah, exactly. And our mission today is not to just define these words in a dictionary sense.
Yeah.
But to really get a feel for how they work in real life situations.
Exactly. Like how would a native speaker actually use these words and phrases?
Yes, exactly. Because, I think sometimes people learn vocabulary in isolation, and they don't really get a sense of how it fits into the bigger picture.
Right, just memorizing lists.
Yeah, exactly. So are you ready to dive in?
Absolutely, let's do it.
Okay, great. So we're going to start with the first category, which is basic greetings and conversations.
Okay.
And this covers words 1 through 10 in the pasted text, and I think it's a really fitting place to start.
Yeah, for sure, because every interaction starts with some kind of greeting.
Exactly, and this category kicks off with 2 words that are like super fundamental.
Yeah.
Hi and bye.
Right. The alpha and the omega.
Exactly. And it's interesting to think about how these words, they're just like one syllable.
Yeah.
But they act as these immediate signals. They tell us that an interaction is either beginning or ending.
Exactly.
So, think about the word hi. It can be a really quick acknowledgement. If you're just passing someone on the street.
Right, like a quick nod.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or it can be more engaged. If you're actually stopping to talk to someone.
Yeah, like if you run into a friend at the coffee shop.
Exactly. And then bye. I mean, that's obviously the opposite of hi.
Right.
But it's interesting to think about how bye can also carry different weight depending on the context.
Absolutely.
Like a quick bye as you're leaving a store versus a more lingering bye.
Yeah, or bye, take care.
Exactly.
When you really mean it.
Yes, exactly.
Like you're invested in that person's well-being.
Exactly. So even these really simple words can have these subtle nuances.
Definitely context is everything.
Okay, so moving on. We have 2 more words that are essential for polite interaction.
Okay.
Thanks, and you're welcome.
Right, the dynamic duo.
Exactly. And this pair is all about expressing gratitude and acknowledging that gratitude.
Yeah.
So, someone holds a door open for you, you say, thanks.
Right.
And they say, you're welcome.
Yeah, it's almost automatic.
Yeah, it's like this little social script that we all follow.
Definitely, it's ingrained in us.
Yeah, and it's so interesting to think about,
Mm-hmm.
like, how different things would feel without these words,
Totally. It'd be so awkward.
Right, like, imagine someone holds the door open and you just walk through and say nothing.
Yeah. Or you just grunt or something.
Yeah, exactly. It would be really strange.
It would be very strange.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah.
Sometimes people might say no problem instead of you're welcome.
Right?
What do you think is the subtle difference there?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I think you're welcome is the more traditional response.
Yeah.
Like it directly acknowledges the gratitude. No problem, especially in casual settings. I think it kind of downplays the effort involved.
Oh, I see.
It implies that the act of helping wasn't a burden at all.
That's an interesting distinction.
Yeah, and no problem can also be a way of just like brushing off the thanks.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it was nothing. Don't even mention it.
Right, so it's more informal.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, what about, pardon me, and I'm sorry.
Oh, those are good ones.
Yeah, these feel like our get out of social awkwardness free cards,
Totally. They're like our social lubricants.
Yeah, exactly.
They smooth over those rough edges.
So, pardon me, I mean, that's so adaptable.
Yeah.
You can use it if you didn't catch what someone said.
Right.
Or if you need to interrupt someone politely.
Exactly. It's a gentle way of saying, excuse me.
Oh, is there a nuance between pardon me and excuse me?
There is a slight difference.
Okay.
I think, excuse me, can be used more proactively.
Okay.
Like if you're trying to get someone's attention in a crowded room.
Right.
or before you need to leave a table or something.
Okay.
Pardon me.
Yep.
Often follows a slight social transgression.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Or need for repetition.
Okay.
Like you'd say, excuse me, to get past someone in a hallway.
Yeah.
But you'd say, pardon me, if you didn't hear what they said.
Oh, that's a really good distinction.
Yeah. And then, I'm sorry, that's our direct acknowledgement of a mistake.
Right.
Big or small.
Yeah.
Like accidentally bumping into someone.
Exactly.
Or, forgetting their birthday.
Oh, yeah. Ouch.
Which hopefully you don't do too often.
Okay, so, excuse me, is more preemptive, pardon me, is more reactive.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. Okay, moving on, we have 2 more greetings.
Okay.
But these are time-specific.
Oh, right.
Good morning and good night.
Yeah, these are like bookends to the day.
Exactly, and they're so ingrained in our daily rhythms, Good morning is not just a greeting.
Right.
It often sets a positive tone for the start of the day.
Absolutely.
Especially within a family.
Yeah, it's like a little ritual.
Yeah, exactly. And good night is like the opposite.
Right. It signals the end of the day.
It's time to wind down and rest.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've covered how we start and end conversations.
Yeah.
Now let's delve into what fills the space in between, which is our daily routines and activities.
Okay, sounds good.
So this next set of words really paints a picture of a typical day.
All right, let's see what we've got.
Okay, so we start with wake up.
Okay.
Which is that pivotal moment when you return to consciousness.
Yeah. The alarm clock's worst enemy.
Exactly. And wake up is often followed by another key activity, brush.
Or brushing your teeth.
Exactly, a fundamental hygiene practice.
Very important.
And then we have shower, which can either kickstart your morning or revitalize you after a workout.
Yeah, that post-workout shower is the best.
It's so refreshing.
Totally. It's like a reset button.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right, so now that we're clean and energized, it's time for food.
Okay, my favorite part of the day.
So the pasted text gives us 3 main meals.
Right.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
The holy trinity of meals.
Exactly. And what's interesting here is how these aren't just about nutrition.
Yeah.
They often have strong social components.
Yeah, totally.
Breakfast might be solitary, grab and go.
Right.
Lunch is often a social break with colleagues.
Yeah.
And dinner is frequently a shared family experience.
Yeah, it's a time to connect and catch up.
Exactly. So these meals, they structure our day, and they provide opportunities for connection.
I love that they're social anchors.
Me too. Okay, after dinner, the pasted text gives us walk.
Okay.
Which is often a leisurely activity,
Right, a nice stroll after
Yeah, exactly. Maybe in a park or something.
Yeah, that sounds lovely.
And then we have exercise.
Okay.
Which is presented as a more intentional activity.
Right, you're deliberately trying to get your heart rate up.
Exactly. Maybe a morning run or a session at the gym.
Yeah, exactly.
What strikes me is how walk can be both exercise and relaxation depending on the context.
That's true. It depends on your intensity level.
Yeah, if you're power walking, that's definitely exercise.
Oh, sure.
But if you're just strolling leisurely, that's more about relaxation.
Exactly, and enjoying the scenery.
Yes, exactly. Okay, as our day winds down, we have sleep.
Ah, yes. Most important activity.
Essential for rest and recovery.
Definitely.
And then woven into our days, especially on weekends, we have relax.
Okay.
Which is those conscious moments of downtime.
Right. You're choosing to unwind.
Exactly. Maybe reading a book or watching a movie.
Yeah, perfect ways to relax.
All right, so we've explored our daily routines and activities. Now let's shift our focus to the tangible world around us with common objects.
The things we see and use every day.
Exactly. So this category starts with mobile.
Okay.
Which is, of course, the ubiquitous device.
Our constant companion.
Yeah, that many of us reach for almost immediately upon waking.
I'm guilty of that.
Me too. It's become so indispensable.
Totally.
And then we have car.
Okay.
Which for many is the primary mode of transportation.
Yeah, especially in the U.S.
For commuting to work or running errands.
Exactly.
And then there's home, which is so much more than just a physical structure.
Right. It's a feeling.
It's our sanctuary, our place of comfort and security.
Yeah, it's where we feel most ourselves.
Exactly. The feeling of coming home carries significant emotional weight.
Definitely, it's primal.
Okay, next we have table and chair.
Okay, such basic pieces of furniture.
But so fundamental.
Right, we use them all the time.
Table serves as a central point for so many activities.
Yeah, eating, working, socializing.
And chair provides that essential support when we need to rest.
They're simple, but incredibly functional.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're like the unsung heroes of our daily lives.
I love that.
Okay, then we have notebook and pencil.
Okay.
are traditional tools for capturing thoughts and ideas.
Yeah, for writing and drawing.
Exactly, whether it's taking notes in a classroom or a child expressing their creativity through drawing.
Right.
These represent learning creativity and the tangible recording of our thoughts.
I like that they're like physical manifestations of our ideas.
Exactly. Okay, moving on, we have television.
All right.
A common source of evening entertainment and relaxation for many.
Yeah, it can be a way to unwind.
Either individually or as a family. Right. And then we have bag.
Okay.
That essential container for carrying our belongings.
Yeah, our mobile storage unit.
Exactly, whether it's a briefcase for work or a backpack for school.
It's like an extension of ourselves.
Yeah, carrying everything we need.
Totally.
And finally, in this category, we have fan.
Okay.
A seemingly simple device.
Yeah.
But so crucial for comfort on a hot day.
Absolutely a lifesaver.
It highlights how even basic technology plays a role in our daily well-being.
Definitely.
Okay, so we've explored the objects around us.
Yeah.
Now let's turn our attention inward.
Okay.
To common feelings and emotions.
The stuff that makes us human.
Exactly. This is where language helps us articulate our internal landscape.
Yeah, it gives us a way to express what we're feeling.
So we start with the brighter side of things.
Okay.
Happy. That feeling of joy often sparked by positive news and excited.
Yeah.
That feeling of energetic anticipation.
Like the build-up to a birthday party or a vacation.
These words allow us to share our positive inner states with the world.
Yeah, and they can be contagious.
Oh, totally. And then we have the contrasting emotions.
Okay, the not-so-happy feelings.
So we have sad. That feeling of sorrow or unhappiness.
Right.
Maybe triggered by a poignant movie.
Yeah, or a loss.
And angry.
Okay.
That feeling of displeasure or hostility.
Like when someone cuts you off in traffic.
Oh, yeah, or takes your food without asking.
Oh, that's a good one.
Classic anger trigger.
Definitely.
All right, then we move into physical states that heavily influence our emotions.
Okay.
So we have tired.
Yeah.
That feeling of weariness after a long day's work.
I know that feeling well.
Me too. Hungry. That basic need for sustenance after skipping breakfast.
Never skip breakfast.
Bad idea and thirsty.
Right.
That craving for liquid after physical exertion.
Like after a good jog.
Exactly. It's amazing how these physical sensations can dictate our mood.
Oh, totally. They're so powerful.
And then we have bored. That feeling of listlessness when we lack stimulation.
Yeah, that can lead to some bad decisions.
Oh, totally. Like mindless scrolling on your phone.
Exactly.
And then there's nervous. That feeling of unease or apprehension before a significant event.
Like a job interview.
Or big presentation.
Yeah, as a natural human response.
And finally, we have surprised.
Okay.
That feeling of unexpected astonishment.
Like a surprise party.
Exactly. It can be either pleasant or slightly shocking.
Right, depending on what the surprise is.
Exactly. It's remarkable how these seemingly simple terms encapsulate such a wide spectrum of our internal experiences.
Totally. They're like emotional shorthand.
Okay, for our final category, we have basic actions and commands.
Right, let's get things moving.
These are the verbs that drive our movement and interactions with the world.
The action words.
Exactly. So we start with some fundamental movement verbs. Run, that rapid form of locomotion.
Right.
Often motivated by a need to hurry.
Like catching a bus?
Exactly. Stop. That crucial command to cease movement.
Essential for safety.
Yes, like at a red light.
Exactly.
Go that direction to move from one place to another.
Like going home after work.
Exactly. And come.
Okay.
That instruction to move towards someone.
Like when a friend calls you over.
Exactly. So these are the bedrock of our physical interactions.
Yeah, they get us where we need to go.
And our navigation of the world.
Literally.
Okay, then we have some posture verbs.
Okay.
Sit. The act of lowering our body to rest on a surface.
Like in a classroom setting.
And stand.
Okay.
The act of rising to an upright position.
Like waiting in line at the airport.
Exactly. These are actions we perform countless times a day.
Yeah, without even thinking about it.
Right. They're so fundamental we barely even register doing them.
Totally. They're just part of our daily routine.
Okay, next we have some sensory verbs.
All right, let's tune in.
Look. Directing our gaze towards something.
Like admiring a beautiful sunset.
Exactly. And listen.
Okay.
Focusing our auditory attention.
Like paying close attention to instructions.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
These are how we perceive and engage with our environment.
They connect us to the world through our senses.
And finally, we have some communication verbs.
Okay.
The way we interact with others.
Exactly. So we have speak, The act of articulating words aloud.
Like during a presentation.
And write, the act of forming words on a surface.
Like writing in a journal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So these are how we share our thoughts, ideas, and information with others.
And with ourselves.
Yes, exactly.
That's a good point.
So as we bring this deep dive to a close,
yeah,
it's really quite striking to see just how much of our daily lives, from our interactions to our internal states and actions, is encompassed by these 50 common words and phrases.
It's amazing how much we can do with so few words.
I know. It's like these words are the invisible threads that weave through our daily experiences.
I like that analogy. From the moment we say good morning to our families to when we go to sleep in our home.
It all comes full circle.
Exactly. And the real value lies in recognizing these words. Not just as isolated definitions, but as integral parts of our daily routines, our social exchanges, and our emotional landscape.
It's about understanding their function.
Yes.
Within these contexts.
Exactly, because that unlocks their true power.
Totally.
And allows for more effective communication.
It's like having a secret code.
Yeah, it's like you're speaking the language of everyday life.
Exactly.
So for you, our listener, the challenge and the opportunity here is to become more attuned to these words and phrases in your own daily life. Start noticing how native speakers use them.
Pay attention to the details.
The subtle variations in their delivery.
Exactly.
And perhaps even consciously try incorporating them more to your own conversations.
Practice makes perfect.
You might be surprised by just how much you can express and understand with this foundational vocabulary.
It's a great starting point.
It's a fantastic springboard for building greater confidence.
For sure.
And fluency in the English language.
A
starting point for even deeper exploration.
Exactly. And who knows what nuances you'll start to notice.
I'm excited to find out.
Me too.
Thanks for joining us for the deep dive.
My pleasure.
Until next time.